Hello, truth seekers, light workers, star seeds, and healers. I have some news for you today. You are not here to save the world. Let me repeat that. You are not here to save the world. Your primary purpose while you are here is to become a better version of yourself, to learn and to grow, to find inner peace and happiness. I'm Washayla Sananda. Thank you for joining me today. There is a common theme among the healers, light workers, the spiritual seekers, and it's generally something like, I came here to save the world. I know I have a mission and a purpose around that. And then there's this striving to, in whatever way it is, to save the world, to heal people, to make the world a better place. And by all means, there is nothing wrong with any of that, unless it takes you away from working on yourself, because the world that you're really here to heal is within you. It is your inner consciousness, your inner truth, your inner world, which is reflected out in the outer world all around you. And of course, it's wonderful to do philanthropy, to help other people, to care about others, to be compassionate and empathetic and kind. All of those things are wonderful traits. And if you are doing those things in avoidance, out of what I call a savior complex or a God complex, I'm here to save the world, I've come to save humanity or the earth or whatever version of that you might be cycling through, it's probably time for you to take a good look within yourself and see how much balance you have within you. Because what I'm finding is that when healers and star seeds and those of us on a mission here project too much into, I've got to do this for that person and that for that person and help this, do this mission and that mission and this philanthropy project, what's really going on a lot of the time is a projecting out all of the pain and hurt and emotion and trauma and seeing it all around us in other people and in the world and in the things that are going on in the world. And then a closing, like a barrier, a wall around our own trauma so that we don't have to go into the grief and pain of healing our inner selves, our inner trauma, the inner child. Yesterday, I was on a date with a lovely gentleman, and we were sitting at the water's edge looking over the bay, and there were lots of birds, egrets and heron and pelicans and seagulls, and it was just the most beautiful day. And we were having a conversation, and I said something, been doing a lot of processing lately and I'm pretty authentic about that with whoever I'm with. And he said, in response to something I shared, I know it's not my job to fix you, and I have something I'd like to share about that. And then he said something brilliant, that was wonderful and relevant and helpful. But all of that aside, what stuck with me and what I heard and what I remembered was, it's not my job to fix you. It's not my job to fix you. Wow. A man that gets, it's not his job to fix me. It was a jaw drop moment for me to just be sitting with a man who's balanced in his masculine energy and can simply reflect to me his awareness that he's going to say something that should not be categorized as him thinking he needs to fix me, which was so nice. And it really spun me into this whole quandary about balanced masculine energy. We all have feminine and masculine energy. Everybody does. And in order to be balanced in that, to be able to express my feminine energy, I need to be with a man who can hold feminine energy and not get unbalanced by it, not get upset and shut down by feminine emotions. So I'm looking at dating apps a lot lately, and what I'll see men write is no drama, like in all caps, no drama. I have no drama in my life and I don't want any. And to me, what that reads, the code of that is I have not processed my masculine energy enough to be able to handle a woman's emotions, to be able to handle feminine emotional energy coming toward me. Therefore, no drama to me means don't bring your feminine energy around me. But they're saying they want to attract a woman, and a woman comes with feminine energy. Therefore, this masculine must be healed within in order to be able to hold a woman's emotions and not feel like it's your job to fix it. When we want to fix someone else, it's really our inability to go within and say, okay, I'm going to hold space for this person's experience, for this person's emotions, and I don't need to change them or fix them. I simply, my highest service in this moment is to be with what they're saying, is to allow them to have their experience, and then not come in and say, okay, here's what you need to do about it, unless they're asking, what should I do about this? Can you help me figure this out? Then that's an invitation to step in and give your advice. But aside from that, sometimes it's really just about being present and noticing, you know, can I hold space for this person? Can I witness this person? Can I truly be present and listen to what this person has to share without needing to fix them or change them or redirect them or have them be another way? Simply just holding space and presence is often what's called for. In interpersonal relationships, when the feminine is emoting and expressing and sometimes feeling strong, powerful, deep, expressive emotions, and the masculine is not able to hold it, he'll freak out and say, oh my gosh, I got to fix this. I got to change it. Wait, no, stop doing that. I got to, I got to figure this out because they can't handle it, because they can't hold it. That's an immature masculine response. And so where we want to get to is the ability to, first of all, look within and do our own inner work so that we can clear and then hold space for other people and not need to change or fix their emotions, their experiences, their reactions, unless they're asking specifically for guidance and help and maybe some coaching on the issue. Then it's time for the masculine to engage. Okay, what are we going to do about this? And so it's not my job to fix you can be expanded, not just to interpersonal relationships between a man and a woman or between, two people and their masculine and feminine energy, but also between ourselves and the world. It's not your job. It's not my job to fix the world. If you are someone who's been putting a lot of pressure on yourself as I must heal and save the world, I want you to just take a minute and breathe into that. Just take a deep breath and feel the truth of these words, the reality of these words. It is not your job to fix the world, to fix other people, to save the world or save anybody. Your job, your responsibility is to go within and feel the emotions that come up when you think that it's your job to fix or save someone else. take a moment to step back and say, what is it in me that I still haven't been willing to look at or feel or work on? What grief is in me that I haven't processed? What am I seeing out in the world that I haven't been willing to see in myself? Because I guarantee if you can see it out there, and if it's irritating you, upsetting you, traumatizing you out there, then it's in here. It's within you, waiting for you to pay attention to it, to give it your awareness, your love, your conscious attention, your embodiment. These are embodiment practices. When we pay attention to what's going on in the outer world, and those things that traumatize us, that upset us, that trigger us, that irritate us in the world, even the things that we have an emotional desire to fix and heal, when we see those things out in the world and we reflect out, like, I have to fix that, I have to fix that, I have to fix that, I have to fix that. It's an endless cycle. Have you noticed that? For those of you who are healers and fixers, it's never done. There is always something else to fix, isn't there? And that is the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, the divine, sending you the information out here to see and be aware of what is going on that needs your attention inside of you. Now, listen, if you are an emergency worker or an EMT, a fireman or woman, obviously you're always going to have traumas and, things that you have to respond to that are life-threatening. Still to notice, who are you being? Do you need that? Do you need that constant experience of I'm healing, I'm fixing, I'm helping, I'm saving? And again, nothing wrong with those. Those jobs are wonderful. I'm so grateful that there are people that do them. But are you needing that outside acknowledgement in order to feel good about yourself? And is that indicative of, is there something in here that still needs my attention, that hasn't been healed, that hasn't been addressed? And if so, we all have layers of this. I don't know that we're ever completely finished with this work while we're here. I want to bring your attention today because I see so many healers and starseeds and light workers that are like, I have to, do, be productive, help, save, mission oriented. And yet we don't take the time to stop and go within and go deep, really, really, really deep into the trauma, into the grief, into the inner child, into the yucky, gooey, sludgy, icky stuff that is desiring to come out, to be seen, to be witnessed, to be known, and to be let go. And when we do that work and we do that letting go, the clearing that happens, the emotional upliftment that happens is beautiful and enlightening. And then as we clear those clouds and we let that stuff go, our ability to embody our higher self, our higher truth is expanded. Our ability to hold light, our ability to make contact with divinity itself is expanded. Our ability to hold space for others is expanded when we do that inner work and get clear on what's going on with it and how we project that out into our relationships, into sometimes our friendships, into our families, into the world at large, into the things that bother us about the world, into the things that traumatize and trigger us about the world. And those are always clues when we're getting traumatized and triggered by relationships or by what's going on in the world, there's something in here to balance, to address, and to acknowledge, and probably to purge. I have a recorded meditation called Releasing Thoughts from the Body, and I'm going to offer that to you for free today. It is a guided meditation that assists you in going within and finding those places within, going within the heart, going within the physicality, and finding the emotional spots that we've densified, those things that have become heaviness, what we think of as baggage, and to be able to acknowledge and witness and come to terms with it, and then heal it, and ultimately to allow it to be cleared from the physical body. And I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes today so that you can collect that. If you're on YouTube, you can find it in the show notes. If you're in my email list, I'll include it there as well, because I want you to have some guidance to be able to go within and excavate this. And if this is the kind of work that you're willing and open and desiring to do, I have a 6-month course called Embodied Ascension Training. And this is going very deeply into the clearing of old stuff from the physical and the emotional and the mental and the energetic bodies, so that we can truly embody our higher selves and our most divine light being that we really came here to become. And that's what this work is all about. As I was thinking about today's material for this video, I remembered this beautiful poem that I've heard years ago. I've heard it many times by Oriah Mountain Dreamer, called The Invitation. Maybe you've heard it before. If you have, I invite you to engage in a way that is receptive, as if you have never heard it before, because I'm going to share it with you, and it's so relevant to today's topic. First of all, the line that I remembered as I was coming up with what I wanted to share with you today it's this: I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. And so I want to share the whole poem with you now. Just listen in a way as if you're hearing it for the first time, to see if maybe there's something that can create an opening for you in this conversation of, who am I being in the world? Am I really open and receptive to being my authentic truth? And am I trying to fix or heal or change something that is really within me? It's not out in the world. It is out in the world, but I'm seeing that because there's something inside of me that I haven't looked at or haven't been willing to go deep with. And so I'm going to share with you now The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have you become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you are telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. That was The Invitation by Orion Mountain Dreamer. I'm Washayla Sananda, and thank you for watching, listening, and joining me today. If this was helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment on YouTube in the notes, and I will comment back. I love to hear your reactions and, what this brought up for you. I will include the link to Releasing Thoughts from the Body guided meditation in the show notes on YouTube. Thank you so much again for joining me. I love you. I cherish you. Namaste.